Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this time for prayer and music here at the Centerport United Methodist Church. Thank you for joining us this evening. And tonight our theme is gratitude. I know we're in really difficult times right now. Quite frankly, I have found myself being frustrated at times, sometimes whining and complaining a little bit. But when I really stop and think, even during these times when I'm hearing so much bad news in the world and even in our own families and communities, there's still so much to be grateful for. And so I'm trying to practice gratitude even in difficult times, in trying times. And I pray that you'd come along with me and make that a practice for tonight and ongoing, as you already have been, grateful for so much that God has blessed us with. And so there's this verse in Psalm 13, it's verse number 6, that says, "Let me sing of the Lord, how good our God has been to me and you," I would say. And so we're going to begin with placing it all in God's hands tonight, letting God lead us through this time together. And Joe Ferrante, our music director, is going to lead us in a version of Be Thou My Vision. So just close your eyes and listen to this music and hear what God has for you this evening. Be Thou My Vision, a prayer for tonight and always, for every moment of our lives. If we could just have God be the center of all of our being and our thoughts and our actions and our feelings, and have God leading us and guiding us every moment without us getting in the way, just following that vision. How powerful that would be for us individually and collectively. Thank you, Joe. Let us pray. As we gather together this evening, let us pay particular attention to God's many blessings upon us, especially those we easily take for granted in the course of our busy lives. This rapid, hectic pace that we have been experiencing for so long, the multitude of activities we are engaged in all throughout our lives, moving from one thing to the next, the preoccupations of the moment and planning our futures, the demands placed upon us and the demands we place on ourselves. This can all blur our vision of what surrounds us and exists within us. So we pause in a time of silence from all distractions to be mindful of the abundant blessings that envelop us through God. Amen. So I was thinking of praise and thanksgiving to God during this time, naturally turn to one of the Psalms, which are So many of them are full of praises to God, and I chose Psalm 104, the first 5 verses. Bless the Lord, O my soul. O Lord my God, you are very great. You are clothed with honor and majesty, wrapped in light as with a garment. You stretch out the heavens like a tent. You set the beams of your chambers on the waters. You make the clouds your chariot. You ride on the wings of the wind. You make the winds your messengers, fire and flame your ministers. You set the earth on its foundations, so that it shall never be shaken. The word of God for the people of God. Amen. God saying that in all of God's glory, that we are there to be a witness, to see God, to give thanks and praise for all that God has done, even in this time, is doing, and will do for all eternity. What he'll shape us to be, and how we might use this opportunity to transform in the way that God may be calling us to, into something new. You know, as I was preparing for this service, I came across a short story that was written by Nick Ortner and published in The Tapping Solution that I came across. And I wanted to share this with you. It's all about gratitude and having a different perspective, a different way of seeing things. As we sing, Jesus, God, be thou my vision. Think of that hymn and that tune as you hear this story. A blind boy sat on the steps of a building with a hat by his feet, and he held up a sign which read, "I am blind, please help." There were only a few coins in the hat, spare change from folks as they hurried past, and a man was walking by. He took a few coins from his pocket and dropped them in the hat, but he then took the sign, turned it around, and wrote some words. Then he put the sign back in the boy's hand so that everyone who walked by would see these new words. Soon the hat began to fill up. A lot more people were giving money to the blind boy, and that afternoon the man who had changed the sign returned to see how things were. The boy recognized his footsteps and asked, "Were you the one who changed my sign this morning? What did you write?" The man said, "I only wrote the truth. I said what you said, but in a different way. I wrote, 'Today is a beautiful day, but I cannot see it.'" Both signs spoke the truth, but the first sign simply said the boy was blind, while the second sign conveyed to everyone walking by how grateful they should be to see. When your life seems full of troubles, it seems difficult to maintain an attitude of gratitude, doesn't it? All we see are our problems, like a blackened storm cloud casting a dark shadow over our lives. And the times when everything just seems to be going smoothly, we often take these precious moments for granted too, don't we? Caught up in the bliss, comfort, and familiarity of it all, we can simply forget to be thankful. So what then is gratitude? Simply put, gratitude is a habit. It's a way of looking at the world and all the good things in it with a feeling of appreciation, regardless of whether or not your current situation is to your liking. For all that God has blessed you with and all that God has done, is doing, and will do with and for you. Gratitude is a heart-centered approach to being at peace with yourself and with all you have. When you practice this feeling of gratitude, it attracts even more into your life for which to be grateful. Go ahead and try it out now. What or who do you have in your life to be grateful for? Amen. thinking of all we have to be grateful for, it makes me think of so many hymns, so much music that there is out there. But one hymn that's speaking to me right now is number 89 in our United Methodist hymnal. It's called Joyful, Joyful, We Adore Thee. And we're going to sing a few verses of this hymn. It is amazing, isn't it, how we can miss so much in life. And the key to gratitude can be surprise. When we lose our sensitivity to wonder and awe, when we simply trudge or zoom through days, we can so easily miss the daily gifts of life. When we awaken to what is within us and around us, when we savor, relish, and taste life fresh each day, our hearts hold much more gratitude for our blessings. Andrew Harvest writes in the book The Way of Passion that if we were really looking at the world, we would be moved 100 times a day by the flowers at the side of the road, the various people we might encounter, by all that brings us messages of our own goodness wherever we find it. The problem with being grateful is not the lack of countless blessings. The problem is with being inattentive and unaware of those blessings. That passage was shared to us by Joy Rupp in The Cup of Our Life, a guide for spiritual growth, a resource that I've used on many occasions for writings of my own or for school, wherever I was. Wherever you can find the inspiration at this time, whether in writing, in music, in solitude, in prayer, walking around outside safely, of course, but taking in all of nature. So many times to give our thanks and praise to God for all the blessings that we have. For all that you have given us, God, we thank you. For eyes to see, ears to hear, noses to smell, hands to touch, and hearts to appreciate. We give you thanks, God. For wonder and awe at each new day, for attentiveness and awareness to all that we encounter and experience during the course of any day. We give you thanks, God. For grateful hearts, we give you thanks, God. God, for your bountiful gifts you give to us, we are most grateful. but sometimes forgetful. Lead us to be attentive and to appreciate the blessings of each day, to the sights, the sounds, the smells, to those dear to us, to the people we meet, to the experiences of every moment, to the blessing of life itself. Let us not squander your abundance through neglect, but let us see and live each day anew with grateful hearts. Amen. And that leads us to our closing piece this evening. It's called Give Thanks. Give Thanks with a Grateful Heart. It's in our United Methodist hymnal. It's number 2036. Many of you may have heard of this, so if you have, please sing along with us. This night I pray that you go forth in gratitude, giving thanks for all your blessings. Just look around the inside, and tomorrow look around the outside of your home. Look around at the sky and the ground and the bushes and the trees and the grass. Look around everywhere you can. Maybe even look around on the internet and see pictures of the wider expanse of the earth that we can't go and see right now, but someday we will. And to give thanks for all of it, and for how God has carried us this far through this season of our life, and will keep carrying us through and leading us and guiding us until we can meet in person again. Go forth in love and in peace. Amen.